Welcome to Agoracom's Small Cap Breaking News, your daily go-to source for the best small cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is.
Yeah.
We've got some big news breaking right now in the junior resource sector.
Sounds exciting.
It is. So let's bring in our expert to break it all down.
Well, hey, everyone. Thanks for having me.
So glad you could join us.
Yeah, looks like lots of news coming out after the closing bell today. We've got a whole stack of press releases here.
Oh, wow.
From some really exciting companies. And yeah, some of these numbers are truly eye-catching.
Okay, let's dive in. What's the first headline grabbing your attention?
Well, we've got news coming out of British Columbia's Golden Triangle.
Ooh.
Which, always gets investors excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Goliath Resources got GT on the TSX venture, and GOTRF on the OTCQB just announced that they've confirmed a massive gold-rich system at their Surebet Discovery.
Wow.
Yeah, their stock is already up in after-hours trading.
That's a region with a history of major gold discoveries. What are some of the key numbers investors should be focusing on?
Well, they're reporting some impressive gold grades from their drilling program. How does up to 12 grams per ton gold equivalent over 10 meters sound?
12 grams per ton.
That's right, up to 12.
Wow, that's some serious gold.
Yeah, and in one section, they reported 6 meters of 17.5 grams per ton gold equivalent.
Oh, wow.
Those are some seriously high-grade intercepts, especially considering, where they are in the exploration process.
And this is just the beginning, right? They're planning an even more aggressive drill program for 2025.
Absolutely. They're targeting 17-feeder dykes.
17.
Yeah, which are essentially pathways where gold-bearing fluids flow through the rock.
Okay.
If they can hit those consistently, this could become a truly significant gold discovery.
Huge potential.
This is definitely one to keep on your watch list.
So we've got another gold company making waves, this time in Nevada.
You're talking about Nevada King Gold Corp, right?
Yes.
NKG on the TSX venture and NKGFF on the OTCQB.
That's the one.
They just dropped some fantastic drill results from their Atlanta gold mine project in the Battle Mountain Trend.
Yes, they're reporting high-grade gold and silver intercepts. What are the highlights?
How about 4.97 grams per ton of gold and 163 grams per ton of silver over 27.4 meters.
Okay.
And they're also reporting 1.34 grams per ton of gold and 55.8 grams per ton of silver over 64 meters.
Wow, those are some huge numbers.
Yeah, these numbers are really getting investor attention after hours.
Yeah, the Battle Mountain Trend is known for its world-class gold deposits. So it's no surprise that Nevada King stock is surging after these results. It sounds like they're onto something big here.
They've essentially doubled the known mineralized footprint at Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
Which suggests a much larger and potentially richer deposit than initially thought. And, and they're launching phase 3 drilling to expand their exploration even further.
So 2 North American gold explorers making major progress. Now, let's go international.
Okay.
We're getting reports of another gold discovery, this time in Brazil.
Yes, Cabral Gold CBR on the TSX venture and CBGZF on the OTC Pink is reporting high-grade gold from their Machiche main deposit in Brazil's Cuiabá Gold District.
That district has a fascinating history. Didn't it play a major role in Brazil's gold rush?
It did. It was a major gold producer back in the day, and it seems like Cabral Gold is adding to that legacy.
So what are the latest findings from Cabral Gold? What should investors pay attention to?
Their recent surface trenching results are really impressive. They're reporting 20 meters at 3.6 grams per ton of gold.
Wow.
Including a higher grade section of 9 meters at 7.8 grams per ton.
That's impressive.
These results are significant because they indicate high-grade gold near the surface, which is ideal for the type of mining operation they're planning.
They're aiming for a heap leach operation.
Right, exactly.
Which is known for its cost effectiveness.
That's right. Heap leaching allows for the extraction of gold from lower grade or, in a more cost-efficient manner.
Okay.
Which is particularly attractive in today's market.
So we have 3 gold companies hitting impressive grades and expanding their exploration efforts. All 3 of their stocks are up after hours.
That's right. It's not just gold making headlines today. We've also got news from a company in a completely different sector.
Okay.
But also seen some big moves in after hours trading.
You're talking about GURU Organic Energy, right?
You got it.
GURU on the TSX.
Yes.
I see their stock is up significantly. They just released their Q1 2025 results, and it looks like they crushed it.
They did. They reported record revenue for the quarter, up 8% to $7.7 million.
Wow.
What's really catching investors' eyes is their phenomenal growth in the U.S. market, with sales surging by 46%.
46%, that's huge.
It seems like their focus on organic, clean label energy drinks is really resonating with American consumers.
Yeah, and their gross margin expanded to an impressive 59.5%.
Right.
That's a sign of healthy profitability and pricing power.
Absolutely. They're also expanding their product line with new flavors and strategically growing their distribution network. It's clear that GRU is making a big push into the U.S., and it seems to be paying off.
Okay, so we've got gold discoveries, impressive drill results, and a company capitalizing on the growing trend of health-conscious consumers.
It's a busy day in the world of small cap news.
It is.
And it looks like these companies are just getting started now. Let's dig a little deeper into these numbers and see what they could mean for investors.
I'm ready for a deep dive.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. All right, let's take a closer look at some of those eye-popping numbers and see what they might reveal about the potential of these companies.
Sounds good. Let's start with Goliath Resources GOTRF on the TSX Venture GOTRF on the OTCQB in the Golden Triangle. Their discovery at the Surebet project is exciting not only because of those high gold grades, but also because of what it suggests about the size of the system.
They reported some impressive intercepts, like 6 meters of 17.5 grams per ton gold equivalent. But what does that mean for investors who are considering buying shares in Goliath Resources?
Well, it's important to remember that Goliath is a junior explorer. They're in the early stages of developing this project, so there's still a lot of work to be done before they can even think about production.
Right.
However, these early results suggest they might be sitting on a very significant gold deposit. If they can continue to hit these kinds of grades as they drill more holes, their valuation could increase dramatically.
So it's a high-risk, high-reward scenario. Investors who are comfortable with that level of risk might see this as a great opportunity to get in on the ground floor of a potentially major gold discovery.
Exactly. And let's not forget the location. The Golden Triangle is a prolific gold-producing region. Just look at some of the other companies that have made major discoveries there.
Right, like Skeena Resources and Ascot Resources. Their successes have certainly put the Golden Triangle back on the map for investors.
Absolutely. Now, let's move on to Nevada King Gold Corp. NKG on the TSX Venture and NKGFF on the OTCQB, and their Atlanta Gold Mine project in Nevada's Battle Mountain Trend. They're also reporting some very impressive drill intercepts, including 4.97 grams per ton of gold and 163 grams per ton of silver over 27.4 meters.
Those numbers jump off the page, but what's especially interesting to me is that they've essentially doubled the known mineralized footprint at Atlanta.
That's right, and that's a key point for investors to consider. It suggests that the deposit might be much larger than previously thought, which could significantly increase the overall value of the project, and they're not done drilling. They're launching Phase 3 drilling to expand their exploration even further.
So there's a lot of potential upside here, but as with any junior mining company, there's also inherent risk. Investors need to weigh those risks against the potential rewards before making any investment decisions.
Of course, it's always important to do your own due diligence and make sure you understand the risks involved before investing in any company, especially in the junior mining sector, which can be quite volatile.
Speaking of due diligence, let's shift our focus to Cabral Gold, CBR, on the TSX Venture and CBGZF on the OTC Pink in Brazil. They're reporting some high-grade gold from their Machiche main deposit in the Cuiú Gold District. What stood out to you in their press release?
Well, I was particularly interested in their surface trenching results. They reported 20 meters at 3.6 grams per ton of gold, including a higher grade section of 9 meters at 7.8 grams per ton. What makes this significant is that it indicates high-grade gold near the surface, which is ideal for a heap leach operation.
And they've been clear that heap leaching is their preferred mining method.
Yeah.
This could give them a real cost advantage compared to other gold mining operations.
Exactly. Heap leaching is generally considered a lower-cost mining method, which can make a project much more profitable, especially if they're extracting high-grade or cussy. It also has a lower environmental footprint compared to other methods, which is becoming increasingly important for investors who are focused on ESG principles.
So Cabral Gold seems to be hitting all the right notes. High-grade gold, a cost-effective mining method, and a historic gold district. It sounds like they're well-positioned for success.
They certainly have a lot of things going for them, but as we've discussed, the mining industry is inherently risky. There's always the possibility that they encounter unexpected challenges with their exploration or development plans.
Right, permits, financing, commodity prices.
Yeah.
These are just a few of the many factors that can impact a mining company's success.
Exactly. It's a complex industry with many moving parts, but for investors who are willing to do their homework and understand the risks, the junior mining sector can offer some tremendous opportunities for growth.
Okay, we've covered 3 gold companies making headlines with impressive drill results and promising exploration projects. Let's switch gears now and talk about GRU, Organic Energy GRU on the TSX, which operates in a completely different sector, but is also generating a lot of buzz.
It's interesting to see a consumer beverage company alongside these junior miners, but GORU's recent performance is certainly worthy of attention. They just posted record Q1 2025 results with revenue up 8% to $7.7 million.
That's impressive, but what's really caught my eye is their U.S. sales growth. They reported a 46% surge in sales in the American market. That's a testament to the strength of their brand and their ability to connect with health-conscious consumers.
Their focus on organic, clean label energy drinks is definitely on trend. Consumers are increasingly looking for healthier alternatives to traditional sugary beverages, and GRU is well positioned to capitalize on this growing demand.
And they're not just growing their top line. Their gross margin expanded to an impressive 59.5%. That tells me they have good control over their costs and pricing.
That's a very positive sign. It suggests that their growth is sustainable and that they can continue to generate strong profits as they scale their business. They're also investing in new product development and expanding their distribution network, which are essential for long-term growth in the competitive beverage industry.
So GRU is a company that's firing on all cylinders. They've got a great product, a strong brand, and a solid track record of financial performance.
It's a compelling story, and what's particularly interesting is that they're achieving this success in a very competitive market. The beverage industry is dominated by some major players, but GRU has managed to carve out a niche for themselves and build a loyal following.
It's a great example of a small-cap company making a big impact. They've identified a growing trend, developed a high-quality product, and executed their growth strategy effectively.
It's a recipe for success, and their recent performance suggests that they have a bright future ahead of them. Now, let's shift our focus to the future and explore what lies ahead for these companies and their investors.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today, from those high-grade gold discoveries to the booming market for organic energy drinks.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild, right?
Now let's look ahead and consider what the future might hold for these companies.
All right, so crystal ball time. It's always exciting to speculate about the future, especially, when you have companies like these that are showing so much promise.
Yeah, for sure.
But, gotta be realistic. Gotta remember that the future is never certain.
Sure.
And there are always risks involved in any investment.
Of course. But that's part of what makes the small cap market so compelling, right?
Yeah, that's the excitement, right?
The potential rewards can be huge, but investors need to be aware of the risks and do their own due diligence. So let's start with Goliath Resources, GOTT on the TSX Venture, and GOTRF on the OTCQB. What are some of the key milestones investors should watch for in the coming months?
Well, their 2025 drill program is going to be crucial.
Okay.
They're planning to drill more than 20,000 meters.
20,000.
Yeah, targeting, those high-grade feeder dykes we talked about earlier.
Right.
If they continue to intersect high-grade gold, their valuation could really take off.
It could soar, for sure. And what about permitting? That's always a critical factor for mining companies, especially in a jurisdiction like British Columbia.
Absolutely. Permitting can be a long and complex process, but Goliath seems to be on the right track.
Okay.
They've already submitted their initial permit applications, and, they're working closely with the local communities and First Nations groups.
So investors should keep an eye on their permitting progress, as well as their drill results. Those are two key factors that could drive their stock price in the near term.
For sure.
Now let's shift our focus to Nevada King, Goldcorp, NKG on the TSX Venture, and NKGFF on the OTCQB.
All right, Nevada King.
They're also planning an aggressive drill program in 2025, aiming to expand the mineralized footprint at their Atlanta gold mine project.
And they're in a great location. The Battle Mountain Trend is one of the most prolific gold-producing regions in the world. If they can continue to hit high-grade gold, they'll be in a very strong position.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not just about the drill results.
Right.
They also need to demonstrate that they can advance this project towards production.
Okay.
What are some of the key steps they need to take?
Well, they'll need to complete a feasibility study, which will provide a detailed assessment of the project's economics, and they'll also need to secure the necessary financing to build a mine.
Right.
These are, significant hurdles.
Big hurdles.
But Nevada King has a strong management team with a track record of success in the mining industry.
Yeah, they definitely have the experience and the resources to move this project forward, but it will take time, and a lot of capital investors need to be patient and understand that this is a long-term play.
Absolutely.
Now let's move on to Cabral Gold, CBR on the TSX Venture, and CBGZF on the OTC Pink in Brazil. They're targeting a heap leach operation, which could give them a significant cost advantage.
Yeah, heap leaching is a proven and cost-effective method for extracting gold, and it's well-suited to the type of deposit they have at Mechichi, Maine. Their near-surface, high-grade gold mineralization makes this project very attractive from an economic standpoint.
Right, but they're operating in Brazil, which can be a challenging jurisdiction for mining companies.
Yeah.
What are some of the key risks they face?
Well, permitting is always a concern in Brazil.
Yeah.
And there can be, political and social issues that can impact mining projects. However, Cabral Gold has a good track record of working with the local communities and navigating the regulatory environment.
Okay, so they have the experience and the expertise to manage these risks.
It seems like it.
But investors should be aware that there are always challenges associated with operating in emerging markets.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now let's wrap things up with GURU, Organic Energy GURU on the TSX. They're firing on all cylinders with strong revenue growth, expanding margins, and a successful U.S. expansion strategy.
Yeah, they're riding the wave of the health and wellness trend.
They are.
And they've positioned themselves as a leader in the organic energy drink market. Their focus on clean label ingredients and sustainable practices is really resonating with consumers, especially millennials and Gen Z.
Yeah, but the beverage industry is highly competitive. What do they need to do to maintain their momentum and continue to grow?
Well, innovation is key. They need to keep developing new products and flavors to stay ahead of the competition. They also need to continue to expand their distribution network and build their brand awareness.
So they need to stay agile and adapt to the changing market dynamics. But they have a strong foundation, a talented team, and a great product. It'll be exciting to see what they accomplish in the coming years.
Well said. Yeah, it's been a fascinating deep dive into these four companies. They all represent compelling investment opportunities in their respective sectors.
They certainly do, and it just goes to show that there's always something interesting happening in the world of small cap stocks.
Always.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back soon with more breaking news and in-depth analysis.
Until then, stay informed and stay curious.